Hello. Can you hear the seagulls? Right on cue. Lady, don't jump up again. I've already tried this once and she completely sabotaged my setup because I've been relegated to the kitchen because Yella doesn't want me in a separate room. So we've got like an open plan thing. And she's promised me she won't make loads of noise. So if she does, I'm not going to be very impressed. Today is day 2 of my brand new series, Hormone Diaries. Hello, Vicky. And yesterday, it was a very impromptu thing. I decided to start this whole hormone diary thing because for the few days prior to yesterday, I have been feeling really rough. And because I track my cycle, because I'm into astrology and moon cycles, and I'm a personal trainer, so I'm like in touch with the nutritional and physiological aspects of myself, I'm able to kind of more clearly identify why I feel a certain way when I feel a certain way. Whereas for pretty much most of my life, I've winged it. As I'm sure most people of my age have winged it because we didn't have this information. So yesterday, if you want to catch it, I did day 1 of Hormone Diaries, focusing mainly on menopausal symptoms. But as I said before, it really doesn't matter what age you are or what phase of your sort of hormonal menstrual cycle you are at. It will all be relevant because as long as you've got a uterus, you will go through having periods, maybe getting pregnant, certainly ovulating every single month, releasing eggs, and then perimenopause and menopause. We will all go through it as women with uteruses, right? So even if you have since become a female, as long as you've got a uterus, this applies to you, okay? So, day 2, Hormone Diaries. I'm actually on my cycle, day 11. Now, day 11 is in the middle of the follicular phase, which essentially is preparing you for the ovulation phase, which should hit me in a couple more days. And that is when you're your most fertile. That is when you're more likely to get pregnant if you're trying. If you're not trying, be careful, because that is when the follicles release the egg, right? The follicles are your ovaries and they release the egg. And when you have your period, if that egg hasn't been fertilized, your womb basically sheds the inner layer of itself to get rid of that unfertilized egg. And that's essentially why we have periods every month, right? So there's your crash course in periods and why we have them. So the follicular phase, I've never really noticed it in terms of my symptoms and how I feel. However, the last few months where I've been tracking my cycle now via an app for probably a couple of years, and I've become more in tune with like the cycles of the moon over the last year for sure. And I'm not traditionally what you would say a spiritual person. I'm not a woo person, but I don't think you have to be to understand that this stuff makes sense, right? As far as I'm concerned, I believe in energy, energetics, and the world, the universe is made up of energy. So we would be very, very naive to think that the cycles of the earth and Mother Nature do not apply to us as human beings because we're all interconnected. And I have found this to be true when I've been tracking my cycles alongside the moon, right? And this week has kind of gone really, really quickly for me. And I can't believe it's already Friday. And it has kind of jumped up on me that tomorrow is a new moon, right? Which basically means when you can't see the moon, right? That right now we're in the waning phase. Waning means losing light, losing energy. And waxing phase means gaining energy, gaining light, right? So the waxing phase is from when we can't see the moon, right, to when we can see the moon, full moon, right? So either way, the energies are going to be at their most extreme on a new moon and a full moon. And what I have come to notice about my own menstrual cycle is that when we're approaching a new moon, and it's not until I get right up on top of it that I realise I've literally got no energy. Like, I literally got no energy. Last few days have felt like when I'm due to come on. When, you know, you've got no energy, really tired, really sluggish, like probably a bit angry, irritable. Oh, that's better lighting. Thank you. Here she is. All right. And so now I can use the information that I have about my own cycle alongside the information and the energy that I am learning about the moon cycle. And it's quite powerful to have those two bits of information, because now I'm more able to understand how that affects me. So the symptoms I've been displaying today are still tired, but not as tired as yesterday or the day before. Hugely bloated towards the end of today, right? Like uncomfortable. I've had to change out of my jeans into my like loose joggers and take my bra off. I mean, that's just a woman thing. Just take your bra off; it's more comfortable. And I felt anxious, and when I get anxious, I did a video about this, maybe on a different account. I can't remember. When I get anxious, symptoms, one of them is like where I feel really short of breath, like I'm breathing, like there's a knot here and I'm breathing from the upper part of my chest, and I do this little cough, because that is almost me, my body automatically trying to clear this energy out because I'm blocked. Hi Carly. So I've really felt that today. And actually the follicular phase, which is where I'm at right now, which is what I explained, is that sort of run-up phase towards ovulation, when you should feel your most vibrant, your most communicative, your most, you know, sassy and gorgeous. The follicular phase is sort of known for creating these feelings of like low mood, wondering what wondering what life's all about, you know, that kind of melancholy feel. Now, if you don't do any of this stuff and you don't know any of this stuff, then life is like almost this unpredictable scenario where on a daily basis you have no idea how you're going to feel, or more importantly, why you're feeling a certain way. And that can be really all-consuming and overwhelming, because some days you do just wake up and go, oh, I just feel really rubbish. And if you've got the tools to ask yourself why that might be, oh, is it this? Could it be this? Could it be this? Could it be this? If you don't have those tools, you're just going to lean further into that low mood and your day's going to get worse, right? Sometimes you do just feel a bit meh, right? And there is no reason for it necessarily. But 9 times out of 10, there's usually a reason. And when we connect to ourselves and the way that our body works, just like on a functional basis, it really can help support things like mental health, physical health. You know, the fact that I feel really bloated 20, 30 years ago, that would have absolutely annihilated me all day. I'd have been beating myself up. I'd have starved myself of food. I would have, if I was like younger, I probably would have purged, because I've had eating disorders. And so now that I know why that bloating is happening, I'm a lot kinder to myself. Which takes me on to how you best support yourself within this phase. So the follicular phase, if you apply it to like daily life, is a period within your menstrual cycle where it's really good to sort of plan, right? It's good to lean into being vulnerable. So if you need help, ask for help. Thank you for doing the dishes. If you need help, ask for help. If you need support, ask for support. If someone offers you that help, rather than saying, no, I'm fine by myself, living like really independent woman, just accept it, just lean into it, accept it, because we all need a bit of help, right? And there's no weakness in accepting help and support. planning for things like maybe you want to plan a trip away, like get that planned in now, whilst you're kind of a little less sociable. Like I felt quite withdrawn again today. But then I had a conversation with a coach of mine, and we were like basically putting the world to rights. And it was, that really helped me to, even though I wasn't feeling particularly chatty, just listening to her and then jumping in when I did feel able to contribute, that really helped me with my energy. So find the things that work for you. But tonight I'm going to have a magnesium salt bath. If I had Epsom salts, which is pretty much the same thing, I would use those, because that will help to kind of detoxify anything that is blocking my energies. And I'll probably try and have another early night, read a book, rest, wear loose clothing, you know, not say unkind things to myself because I'm feeling bloated. You know, that's not, it's out of my control. That is my hormone changes affecting the way that my body expands and contracts, right? We cannot control that as much as we'd like. And there's nothing wrong with having a rounded tummy. Women aren't supposed to have flat stomachs. You know, we are built to produce. Now, whether you have children or not, your body will still naturally want to curve out slightly, even if it's just a slight bit. It is designed that way. We're designed to be soft around the hips and, you know, have a fuller butt and all the rest of it. But, you know, we all have our hang-ups. But really, my purpose for today is really just to share with you a bit of knowledge, a bit of my own experience with it, like in the moment, in real like IRL and all that hashtag, and give you tips on how you can support yourself and why tracking your cycle is so super important. Now, I'm old, ancient, whatever, and if you're watching this and you're 13, 14, 15, 25, you're probably thinking this does not apply to me. Yes, it does, because the sooner you learn about your cycle, the more empowered you're going to be in life. It's my firm belief that if girls and women, like if females have all the knowledge about how their body works, then we can all be more empowered when it comes to setting boundaries. Simple boundaries like, I don't fancy coming out tonight, actually. And even if I'm missing out on a party, I don't care, because I know that if I go to this party feeling like this, then I'm going to have a rubbish time anyway. So I might as well just hang out at home, chill out, watch a movie, eat some chocolate, and then tomorrow I'll be fine. And if there's a party tomorrow, then I'll go then. You know, don't feel like you're going to be missing out when, like I've done it so many times. I've gone out knowing deep down I'm going to have a rubbish time because I feel crap. And I have. Like, it's been a real effort, and I've thought, why have I bothered? Why have I bothered wasting my money? Why have I bothered stuffing myself into a pair of skinny jeans when all I wanted to do was like lie with my belly out? You know, all of these things, you can set boundaries and feel like you can do it unapologetically. Like, you don't have to give a reason, you know, and if you want to, you can go, look, I'm just about to come on my period and I really don't fancy it, mate, actually. The more we talk about it and make it more normal, the less we're going to feel ashamed about it. Also, things like consent, you know, and well, I'm talking about, you know, sexual consent. If you understand your body and the way it works, you're more likely to prioritize it and look after it and treat it for the absolute temple that it is, so that you don't feel railroaded into making decisions that go against your gut instinct. You know, doing things that you're not ready for is what I'm saying, or doing things that you don't really want to on that particular day but feel like you have to, because otherwise, you know, someone's gonna hype it all over TikTok or in your Snapchat or at school or wherever, right? Who cares? You know, stand in your truth, stand in your power, and know yourself, right? As my wise coach said to me today, know thyself. The sooner we get to know thyself, no, not yet. The easier it is to make decisions for yourself in a way that doesn't compromise your values and belief system. Okay, Yellow, I'm just about to finish, so let me finish up before I forget what I'm saying. The joys of working from home. So yeah, so that's day 2. If you haven't already caught day 1, it will be less structured than this because I did it on the fly. So look forward to tomorrow's, and I will try and structure it so you'll get what day of the diary I'm on, the day of the cycle of my actual personal menstrual cycle that I'm in, what actual phase of my cycle that falls within and what that means, what symptoms I'm currently experiencing, because they may well relate to you, whether you're 16 having periods or whether you're 42 and going through perimenopause, because the symptoms will always sort of be similar, but with perimenopause and the menopause, they might fall at different times, or they might feel more intense or exacerbated. So either way, you will get something from it. Where we are with the moon, because whether you follow that, are interested in that or not, for me, that helps me. And if I can give you that information and get your interest in it, then all good. FYI, I'm not a full-on expert about the moon. It's just I'm imparting the information that is helping me to you in case it's of interest. Little tips on how to support yourself, and also like a live reminder to do that and not to beat yourself up. And if I can actually get my arse in gear, I'd really like to follow up each live. This is actually a massive commitment. So the fact that I'm even saying it out loud, I'm almost trying to scoop my words back up into my mouth. What I would like to do maybe down the line is each live, or at the end of a week of lives, follow it up with maybe like a little post about the main theme. So today's theme for me is like those anxious feelings, that bloatedness, that feeling of and why it's important to really be able to identify that. Yesterday's was about what did I talk about yesterday? Fatigue, perimenopausal fatigue, right? So it might not be every time, but if I can carve the time, because we're now officially home educating, or I'm officially home educating, so my 8 hours a day solid in front of the laptop does not happen anymore. I've now got a little helper who constantly wants my attention. So as and when, but at the very least, at some point, there will be resources that come out of these lives, because I'm on a mission to make sure that girls have this information, because they certainly don't get it at school. Sometimes their parents don't know it, so they don't give it to them. Sometimes we feel uncomfortable talking to our daughters about this stuff, or they go, "Oh, mum, cringe, I don't want to hear about it." And actually, they're more likely to get it from their friends, but we don't know if their friends are giving them the correct information. So, yeah. That's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, Vicky and Carly. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I've said. And please do share this with anyone you think will find it useful. Even dads, like if you know someone that, particularly like single dads who are raising girls, it's a really, really tricky conversation to have. And most girls won't have that conversation with their dads. But even if dads have got an awareness of those hormonal changes and what to look for and how to be supportive, more to the point, how to really be supportive and not sort of lean into those like misogynistic comments like, "Oh, you're on your period," "Oh," that's not helpful. And actually it's just what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm trying to say? It's just kind of perpetuating, that's the word. It's perpetuating this narrative that the things that we as women go through are just nothing. We just minimise that, when actually it's quite a big deal. And certainly at teenage, when all these new hormones are racing around, it is a particularly difficult time. I mean, my daughter's not a teenager yet, but I can tell you now that right now, whilst I'm managing these perimenopausal symptoms, I think if she was like a teen, me and her would be going at it. So that's the other reason why I'm coming to you with this, because it's my aim to help mums and their teenage girls actually have some, you know, like respectful balance in their relationship, because they understand each other. And we do forget, you know, we switch off to, you know, painful, hurtful, distressing things. A lot of the time that was in our teens, because, you know, teenage is just a horrendous time to grow up. But it's important not to forget to actually remember how we felt in those times and what we needed actually in those moments. You know, did we need a hug? Did we need a conversation? Did we need some understanding or just some compassion? Did we need to just be left the hell alone while we had a moody stomp around the house because that's what we needed? You know, what did we need? That's what we need to give our daughters. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Bye.